Hey, it's the holidays, and if you have some time off work, that might mean travel. A lot of us travel based on what we've heard from other people. Word of mouth, cool places to stay, good hikes to go on, nice hotels or Airbnbs. So we're going to talk briefly here about how you can leave a review when you go to an Airbnb or use a VRBO or use Yelp or TripAdvisor, and make sure that you're helping both the other people who want to check out that service and the people who run the service themselves. So let's get to work. Well, if you hang out in this channel, it won't surprise you to hear that the first two things I want to ask us to think about is our reader and our goal. It's the same like anything else we write. Who's going to read this and what am I trying to accomplish? Keeping in mind that writing goals have two sides. Informational goal, talk about the information at hand, but we always have a relational goal too, about the people involved. So let's keep that in mind as we check this out. Who's going to read a review on, let's say, Airbnb? Well, two groups of people, right? The other users who might want to stay there, and also the owner or the manager who wants that feedback. And we want to think a little bit about what those two groups of people are looking for. You yourself may read other people's reviews when you look at a place to stay or eat or visit. So keep in mind what's helpful to you. What specific kinds of information help you as a user. We're going to want to do that too for Airbnb users. And our goal, of course, is to help other people, let them know what's up, provide feedback. We are going to be maybe positive or negative, but we're doing it in a way that preserves relationships and reputations. Because for me anyway, I have an Airbnb profile too. And if I'm a big jerk on a review, I may end up hearing about that, right? So we want to do this in a way where we all save face for one another. We're all supporting one another, trying to make places to stay as good as they can by giving honest feedback, but also making sure we help provide feedback for those who might stay there. So let's look at some ideas for positive things to say. And I'm going to give a suggestion here that we try to be either quite specific or include why this thing mattered. Not just say what was good, but why that mattered. So instead of a kind of more general comment like good location, well stocked, or helpful, we can get specific about in what way and also why that was helpful. So good location, that might not help me if I'm trying to decide whether to stay somewhere because good means different things to different people, right? But located 2 blocks from the subway, very convenient. Now I know why that location is good. Same idea with well stocked, in what way, and what was helpful. Oh, I had trouble with the Wi-Fi and they actually answered my messages and helped me, right? So with a positive review then, I'd say be as specific as you can. It's comfortable, it has a comfortable bed with a soft topper. I've read those reviews. I worry about the bed, so I want to know those things. Great location near cafes and bars. I like to go out and do stuff, so I want to know those things too. Nice hangout space and porch for evenings. I want to know that too, and many families or couples might want a porch to hang out on. So we're being specific in a way that's helpful to both sets of readers there, because we're telling the owner this is what we like, and we're telling the visitors this is what you may like. So the other idea here for positive reviews, in addition to being specific, show why it matters. Made the check-in process easy. I didn't even need a car. Those help me, right? It's like, I didn't have to worry about it. It made my vacation better. That's why it mattered. And it's okay to get personal in some cases. I really feel like when I read something like my daughter loved the tea selection, I go, oh look, human beings have stayed here and the host has thought about them. The extra bedroom was just right for my kids, cozy and full of color, with 2 twin beds on different sides of the room. That's a lot of detail that a parent of 2 small kids might want. And being able to lock my bike on the porch was convenient. If I want to take my bike around, which I usually do at Airbnbs, is there a spot for that? So anything you want to know about, speak specifically when you talk about that, because someone out there might want to know too. All right, now I mentioned in the beginning that any writing has 2 types of goals, informational and relational. So we do want to consider that here because Airbnb, at least, is kind of a community where we all review each other. And if you're writing on Yelp, same thing, right? These are communities of people trying to support one another. So we want to keep that in mind. So when we do need to say negative things in a review, we can use some writing EQ, some emotional intelligence in our writing to try to protect the relationships, between us and these owners or these managers, and also to keep all of our Airbnb profiles kind of peaceful and harmonious, right? We don't need to have fights here. We just want to help each other get better. So therefore, I'd say use objective language. Try not to make it about the people, but specifically about items, inanimate items who are not people, and try to be tangible. So here are some examples of that. The refrigerator hums during the night. It's tangible and it's not mean. It's just a statement about the fridge. It's not saying anyone is bad, but the owner needs to know that, and people who have trouble sleeping might need to know that too. The lighting was too bright for my taste. Not saying it's wrong, just didn't work for me, might work for others. But then again, the owner might want to check it too. The bed was a full, not a queen as described. Coffee and tea were not provided. None of these have said, you know, the host has failed to provide coffee and tea. It's just, the coffee and tea are not there. So we're being objective by talking about things instead of people. And on that line of protecting the relationship, I would also just caution us when there is something negative. In Airbnb, you get two options to provide that information to the owner. You can do it in the review that goes public, or the review that just goes to them. And so I'd say consider what not to include also, just in case. Something that actually isn't helpful to the reader, but is more of a pet peeve, something that's very critical to the owner. Maybe they were great, they supported you the whole time, but the bed was horrible. That might be something to just tell them, because they did such a great job that you don't want to ruin their reputation either. And make sure when you talk about something that you think it would be relevant to the readers, of course, not just to ourselves, right? Because we do have that option to only tell the owner when we have something specific that didn't go so well. All right, so on that note, let me give you a couple examples of critical reviews that would work. So we've looked at positive and critical, and then we'll close out here. So with critical reviews, I'll ask for the same two suggestions here. Be specific and show why it matters. We can't just say the kitchen wasn't that great. Kitchen needed more than 2 sets of dishes because I had a party. No, we're not supposed to have parties there usually. Noisy at night on the bedroom side of the building. Good to know, right? And then maybe that's something they could consider. Show why it matters. Why did it matter when something went wrong? Because sometimes it's no big deal, but what if you had to wait for 45 minutes for them to update the lock code? It might not matter in many situations. You might say, hey, I'm just exploring a new city, no big deal. But if you're there and you're gonna be late for something, that's worth bringing up for people who maybe are traveling for work, right? The Wi-Fi came off and on, it affected my work, And we can get personal too. I was there for work, so I wish we had more coffee. The bathroom floor was kind of slippery because my parents are a bit older. These specific details help, and notice once again, we're not talking about the people, the hosts. We're talking about items around the house. Okay, so in closing, keep that in mind, positive or negative. What is it specifically? Why does it matter? Maybe a personal example if you think other families or friends might be in the same situation. Okay, so let's get out there and travel and support each other while we do it, all right? Let me hear about Airbnb reviews you've left or read. I actually enjoy leaving them. I've gotten to stay at places with lots of really nice hosts. So let us know your experience in the comments or any do's or don'ts you would suggest for writing a great review. Okay, happy holidays, everybody. I will see you very soon with our next video.